If you're new here, I'm Allen with Earthglow, and this channel is all about sharing the joy of candle making. So I'm really tired, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I just got out of chem lab and I've had like 6 hours of chemistry today. No, 5.5 hours. And in addition to that, like a whole bunch of other stuff. And it's actually night now, and I was gonna open up this box behind me from CandleScience that it's their blending elements, and they didn't ask me to do a video on this at all. I just thought it would be fun to open them with you guys on camera. These are their blending elements, I wanna say, and basically what they did, from my understanding, is they made a fragrance line that is just that straight fragrance. So if you're trying to blend something, each of their other fragrances has multiple top, middle, and base notes, whereas these are supposed to just be one single note, which is really nice, or could be really nice if you're trying to make a blend and you want, say, a lavender or a lilac or a pine, but you don't want a bunch of other things with it. But I just thought it would be fun to open this and see what's inside. Oh my gosh. So there's a lot of different scents in here. I'm not gonna go through all of them in this video unless you guys want me to do more, like in a future video. I just thought we would look at these, and they're called elements. So there's like a pine and a basil. And then I'm really curious about this vanilla element. It's really hard to find just a straight vanilla scent. Oh, this is interesting too. Pink grapefruit element. That is, I'm really curious about. Actually, all 4 of these. Probably not the basil as much, because I feel like, well, I don't know. I don't know how useful basil would be, but ooh, I'm really curious about chocolate element too. You guys know how I am with my chocolates. Ooh, okay, bergamot element. I feel like I've found a lot of good bergamots already that are pretty like straight bergamot. Like I know Nature's Garden has a good one, for example, and Stone Candles has a good one. It's actually called Petitgrain, but it's pretty straight bergamot. Cardamom element, Mugat element. Okay, I'm just gonna like see, because there's a ton of these in here. I'm gonna just see what sounds the most. Ooh, smoke element. I'm curious what that is gonna be like. Green leaves element. Baking spices element and aquatic elements. All right, and then we have jasmine element, lemon element, and cedar element. I'm just gonna literally open this whole box and pick what sounds the most interesting. I'm not gonna smell all of them. I just kind of wanted to go through a few of them with you guys just to kind of give you my initial impressions. They have a coconut element, a moss element, a pineapple element, a praline element, and then a cucumber element and a strawberry. I'm curious how they did on the strawberry element. I feel like strawberry is really hard for a lot of companies to do. Okay, oh, I'm excited for this. This is called amber element. You guys know I just like to smell anything amber. It's one of my favorite notes in general, and I'm curious like what a straight amber might smell like. Okay, and then the last few in here. Oh, interesting. The last 2, we have a cinnamon element, which I feel like is also pretty easy to get. And then we have a sandalwood element. And by pretty easy to get, I mean like there's a lot of fragrances that are pretty straight cinnamon and pretty straight sandalwood. I actually really like CandleScience's sandalwood fragrance. So I'm curious, I'm gonna just start with this one. Like I'm just curious what straight sandalwood would smell like compared to what they have as their sandalwood. I'm trying to decide if I want to use the blotter strips for this Let's just try it. Ooh, this is really woody. Like this smells like, wow, I really like this. This actually smells kind of like their sandalwood, like the fragrance oil sandalwood. But if you combine that with more like Australian sandalwood essential oil, wow. Yeah, this has a very prominent, true sandalwood essential oil note to it. And if you've also smelled, they have a new, I'll put the name up on the screen of the new fragrance. It reminds me of that fragrance as well. I think it's sandalwood and Palo Santo or something. Yeah, this is lighter, but I would expect that from something that is a straight base note. Yeah, this is really good, jeez. And I forgot to mention this before, but these are just my initial impressions. If you're new to this channel, I do a lot of out of the bottle fragrance videos, and a lot of people have asked me how the hot throw is, and just being totally transparent with you guys, it is not feasible for me to test hot throw in every single scent that I receive. Companies will send me now anywhere from like 50 to 100 fragrances every few months, and in order for me to get a good evaluation of a hot throw, I would have to make like at least 2 candles of each scent. So to be making an additional several hundred candles per month and test burning those candles thoroughly and keeping track of all that would just be more than I could feasibly do. So I hope that makes sense to people, but I definitely do test out some of the scents. If something really intrigues me, you're always welcome to ask if I've tested it, and I'm happy to share that if I have. Okay, so let's look at smoke element. I'm just curious what the smoke element is. This is probably not going to be something for me. CandleScience, unfortunately for me, hasn't really had any hits in the smoke department. So let's see how this goes. No. This, well, actually though, as it dries down, it's a lot better the more it dries down. Initially, it smelled very much like their Fireside combined with one of their new smoke scents that I said smelled almost like a barbecue grill. As this dries down though, I'm getting more of like a petrichor, like a coal type of a scent. If you've smelled Fireside by Flaming Candle, it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. But I am still getting that almost like a barbecue scent to this, that I'm not into that at all. All right, I'm just curious. I'm sort of curious about, I'm curious about a lot of these. I don't know what to do. Let's look at Pine Element. I feel like that's gonna be good. CandleScience has a lot of hits for me in the pine department. Fraser Fir is my single most favorite pine fragrance. And it's one of my best sellers at Christmas time. So here goes Pine Element. Oh. Yeah, it smells like Fraser Fir. Like, I don't smell how this is different. Maybe it has a little bit more mid and base. Fraser Fir has like a top note of lemon, or it's some type of a citrus that I smell with it. And I don't smell that as much with this. This is actually reminds me more of like a balsam and cedar. I don't know that I would call this a straight pine. Like, I don't really... It's hard for me sometimes to tell, because when a fragrance is really well done, and a lot of CandleScience's fragrances are, like with Fraser Fir, it would be hard to know what it would smell like without the lemon, for example. So with this one being called Pine Element, it's very similar to Fraser Fir. If you already have that fragrance and you want to blend something, I would try that first. But if you don't already have it and you're looking for a good pine scent to use as a blender, I would say definitely try this Pine Element. This is a very, very, very prominent scent out of the bottle, and it smells like Fraser Fir, except it doesn't have as much of a lemon in the top. And again, as I said at the beginning of the video, we're supposed to be just whatever the element is and without any other notes. So they're really made specifically for blending, and I don't think there's any other company that has a line like that. So I think that this is a really good idea that CandleScience is trying. Green Leaves Element. I'm curious about Pink Grapefruit Element. I tend to really like grapefruit scents. I know CandleScience has grapefruit and mangosteen, as well as, I want to say there's one or two other ones that I really like. So, ooh, I can smell this a foot away too. I can smell something. Yes, this is really good. I get straight pink grapefruit, and it's not a fake pink grapefruit. This smells like if you took a red or pink grapefruit, and I used to eat them as a kid. My mom would always get them from the grocery store, and we would take a knife and cut it straight down the middle, and then we had these special little spoons that we would use that were like angled, and they had little teeth on the end, and we would use them to like carve into the grapefruit, and we would put a little sugar on top. But this smells exactly like a grapefruit with nothing else that I can really pick up except for grapefruit. This is really good. I think this is gonna be a big hit. It's very prominent, and yeah, I love this. And you know what I think is nice about CandleScience with some of their citrus scents? A lot of times with citrus, when you burn it in a candle, it can just smell like a kind of like a fuel-like scent. And because of how well they test everything, I highly doubt that you're gonna get that. I've never encountered that from a CandleScience citrus fragrance. So I'm really excited about this pink grapefruit. I think this could be a really nice blender for a lot of people. All right, I gotta go grab some hot tea because I just need like to set the vibe. Cheers to honey lavender tea. This stuff is amazing. I sometimes put this in my orders. Like I'll get the pre-wrapped tea bags and then put them in my orders because this tea, it just really sets the vibe. It's so nice at night. All right, I'm curious. I feel like I'm really curious about their strawberry element. I'm probably not gonna like this. I've used strawberry guava, but in blends before. And oh yeah, I could smell this a foot away. Oh my gosh, okay, I'm curious. I've used strawberry guava in blends, and I don't really like it by itself, but in blends, it can really be nice. My happy hope, you guys, again, I suppose a foot away. Okay. Okay, this smells more like a strawberry than strawberry guava, for sure. Actually, this does still smell a bit synthetic. However, it's one of the most natural interpretations of a strawberry I think I've ever smelled in a fragrance. I'm not gonna say it's totally natural, but it's darn close. And I'm pretty impressed. It's very, very prominent as well. But yeah, strawberry guava, I've used it in blends, and I think that it works better in a blend. I wouldn't use it as a standalone just because to me it smells a bit too much like candy. And I think you get less of that with this strawberry blending element. All right, I want to do chocolate as well as vanilla. I feel like both of those. Let's start with vanilla. I do use CandleScience Berry Vanilla, which I've had in my Pride collection for several years, and I think that that's a really nice kind of straight vanilla type of a fragrance. It is kind of more of a vanilla cake where you get like a buttercream, like frosting ice cream cake type of a vanilla. So I'm curious what this vanilla element is gonna be like. Okay. Yeah. I guess I can see how this is very similar though to Very Vanilla. Like they're definitely siblings. Definitely. I really don't think I would know that this is a different fragrance, to be honest with you. Maybe if I smell them side by side, but this is very, very similar to Very Vanilla. I like this oil. I definitely do. It's a sweet kind of baking type of a vanilla that smells more complex than just a straight vanilla extract, but it is very just vanilla forward. Okay, now for the chocolate. Now, I am not a fan of chocolate fudge by CandleScience. I know a lot of people like that, and a lot of you have argued with me about that. I am not a fan of that fragrance whatsoever. I'm just super picky with my chocolate fragrances, so I don't know. We'll see how this is gonna gonna do. Yeah. No. No, this smells very much like chocolate fudge. It's not for me. Okay. I also wanted to look. I feel like there were a couple more. We did smoke element. Oh, I wanted to look at the amber element as well. I'm curious about that. And then, I don't know that I've ever smelled Mugat element. Something that is supposed to be Mugat, so maybe we'll do that one too. Yeah. And then I also am curious about their Cedar element. Okay, so let's do the Cedar, and then we'll do the other two, and then I think I'm probably gonna call it good for this video. I just wanted to kind of look at a few of these, and I thought maybe you guys would be interested too. So let me know if you've purchased any of these, if how they perform in your candles, if you have. This is the Cedar element. Oh wow, this is really, really, really woody, like a very rich type of a wood forward note. I'm really familiar with Cedarwood Atlas essential oil, and I would say that this smells very much like it, but almost like you combine sandalwood with it. I know it's just straight cedar, but yeah, this almost has a smoke element though to it too. Yeah, it does. It smells almost kind of like it has a touch, like the slightest touch of like that fireside scent, but yeah, the more it dries down, the more it's like coming out, and I'm not sure as this dries down what I really think of it. But yeah, this is very complex. It's very woody. Yeah, the more it dries down though, the more I am getting something that's kind of like fireside. Okay, and then I wanted to smell Mugat. Honest to God, I don't even know what Mugat is. So I feel like I probably smelled it before in fragrance, but definitely not by itself. Ooh. Wow, this smells expensive. Yeah, oh, I just whacked myself in the face. It smells like almost like a ylang ylang. Like a floral, but like a heady type of a floral, but almost like it's like a white heady floral almost. But it's really complex, and I quite like it, surprisingly. I think if this were on its own, it could be kind of headache inducing to some people, but in a blend, I think that this could add a lot of kind of that luxurious floral tone. This is nice. Okay, and the last one is amber. I want to take a look at this one on camera with you guys. So they have some different amber scents that I like. I know I've used their Egyptian amber a lot. It is my singing bowl candle, and that one has been pretty popular for me. But I also have liked their amber and driftwood. That one is kind of hit or miss with if it's gonna throw or not. It depends on your wax and wicking a lot. It tends to be lighter in general, but if you wick it right and you get a really good wax that works well with it, it can throw. But yeah, I'm curious what this amber element is gonna do. Oh wow, this is really nice. This is a little bit lighter than I might expect though, but it's like a clean, crisp, upscale amber. It doesn't have any musk to it. It's just like a straight amber, and it smells almost spiritual, I would say. Yeah, wow. This is really crisp, but it's almost like woody and aquatic at the same time, and dark. Wow, I really like this. I think a fragrance collection like this you could absolutely use with other fragrance oils that are non-blending elements. Like if you just wanted to add like a pine note, but like a straight pine note to something, like say you had a sandalwood fragrance or something and you want to add just a straight pine, or you know, you could take any fragrance and warm it up with a touch of that vanilla element. There's just so many ways that you could use these. I feel like you could even mix them with each other and have that be a standalone fragrance. All right, you guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And yeah, let me know if you've tried any of these. There's a ton more. If you guys want me to do a part 2, I'd be happy to. All these ones to the left I haven't smelled yet. But yeah, I'm just really excited that they created something like this. Like I said, I don't know that there's any other company that has blending elements that are just supposed to be that note without a bunch of other top, middle, and base notes added. So I'm just excited about it, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you to CandleScience for sending over these fragrances. Again, this wasn't sponsored or affiliated, but yeah, they did reach out and ask if I was interested in trying them. And of course, anything fragrance, you guys know, is my absolute favorite thing to film, and I know you all enjoy this content as well. So anyways, I'm sending all of you guys peace, love, and light, and I'm wishing all of you happy candle making. I would like to take the time to thank my patrons for their incredible support.